Tons of stories for you guys today. In the last part of the video, we're going to be going through the actual specifics of these terror groups that are tied to the Charlie Kirk assassination, the armed queers of Salt Lake City being one of them. So I'm sure you guys are going to want to hear about this. So buckle in and we're going to rock and roll. Oh, and yes, bomb squads with bomb robots deployed to Turning Point USA in Phoenix. So we're going to also look at that. All right, we got a lot to get to today. A lot of new information coming out about terror organizations that are exclusively or nearly exclusively populated by, little lady boys. We're going to look at that. But I wanted to start. I already filmed that, but I found this and I definitely wanted to talk about this first. Okay, this is really important, right? This is a poll that was done related to who is more comfortable with political violence, the left versus the right. Listen to these numbers.
Is wanting to get people on the left to get canceled. And he brought some receipts. Go ahead, Rob.
About punishing them being the left, them being his political opponents. That actually, I think, is surprising to a lot of Americans because that's not typically what you would expect to hear from the White House after.
Well, let's talk about some polling that he used to justify those comments before he made them on TV. YouGov came out with a poll 3 days ago talking about how each side feels about violence and support of political deaths. Yeah. Liberals, 16%, believe it's okay to feel joy when your political opponent is killed. Liberals, very liberals, 24%.
24%. 24% of liberals think it's okay to feel joy when your political opponent is killed. Okay?
Conservatives, 4%, very conservatives, 3%.
Versus 4 and 3. Okay? Very conservative, 3%. Very liberal, 24%. Okay? That's 8.5 times the toxicity. The further to the right versus the left that you get, the bigger the multiple of how comfortable people are feeling joy when your political opponents get murdered. Okay? Now, you know what would make me feel joy is if you would go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video. If you already subscribed, do me a solid. Like this video. This video is not free, okay? Doesn't cost any money, but all you have to do is just either like the video or subscribe to the channel or both, and then you can watch it, dude. That's our deal. But hey, we're the party of hate.
Justifying violence. Very liberal people have 25% answered yes, it's okay. You justified that you should do violence against your political opponents. Liberals, 17%. Conservatives, 8%. And very conservatives, 3%. That means it is 6 to 1 times.
8.5, actually, when you go to the edges. 6 to 1 on the inside. Like, it was like, I mean, it's the numbers are unbelievable. The numbers are absolutely unbelievable. That is how we're starting today because that puts in perspective what we're looking at when you're looking at political violence in this country and why we need to crack down. And speaking of cracking down, let's get into the video that I already recorded about the terror cells highly likely to have been involved in the Charlie Kirk assassination. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we are going to be looking at the suspected groups that are potentially responsible for Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's a transgender militia group that is under FBI investigation. Possible connections, says they should use violence to achieve political goals. So we're going to definitely take a look at that. We're also going to be looking at this group, the Transgender Extremist Network 764, targets children for pushing them into transition, committing violence, and even doing it to themselves. So we're going to be looking at that stuff. There also was, and I mean, I can't even believe that this story is true, but there was a targeted attack on the FBI. And then also there is one here where there was a suspicious bag left outside Turning Point USA headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. So potential bomb situation, obviously, at Turning Point. So, when... When you have these extremist groups and now somehow Turning Point and Charlie Kirk has become the flashpoint of this entire war, I would expect that they're going to be very on edge. And so we're going to be looking at all of that. Now, first thing we're going to do, though, because we need to, I feel like we need to lighten things up a little bit, right? Like as an entry point to this story is I'm going to show you 2 videos that are really funny, actually. Okay. So the first one, since we're going to be talking about, trans extremist groups, This is apparently this is like a left-wing group that is starting to train for violence, right? Like they're getting prepared. Finally, they're going to get themselves physically and mentally prepared for the violence that is inevitably coming. And I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So as you can see here, this is titled "Liberals Have Started Training So That They Can Defeat MAGA." Let's see how they look. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, wow. Jeez. He's like, how do you coach that, dude? How do you coach that? This one's all yes. That was actually like both of those last two, the two that are on the bag over there, just to give credit where credit's due. Like those two look like they, at least like this is not their first day, unlike these people. Look at this one. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that last guy, I might like, that guy could actually potentially hit you with that strike directly in the nose and it wouldn't hurt you, I don't think. But, like those last two, watch the last two though. They actually know, they're like, okay, like that one, dude, you might be able to take that directly square on the nose. That one, no, that might hurt actually a little bit. If you stood there stationary and let him hit you in the nose. But, watch this one. Dude, see that that right hook is pretty good, dude. So look out for her. Okay. Look out for her. And then watch this, dude. Okay. This is something that Gabrielle sent me yesterday. We actually showed it on Play with Matches. By the way, Play with Matches, okay, the show that I do with my wife. The link is in the description. You guys should definitely go check that out. We've been covering this extensively, and according to the analytics, it's a better show than mine. All right, so listen to this. This is absolute freaking gold. And then we'll look into these trannies that are, becoming terrorists.
Babies wear diapers, and I'm not a baby. And you're wearing a diaper. Well, babies wear diapers, and you're wearing a diaper. Well, I'm not a baby. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I meant you're wearing a diaper. I'm not a baby. You're wearing a diaper. I'm not a baby, though. Yes, you're wearing a diaper. Well, I'm not a baby. You're wearing a diaper. I'm not. Well, I'm not even a baby, though. But you're wearing a diaper. You can't say but. That's a bad word. Well, I didn't say real but. Just pretend.
It's perfect, dude. It's perfect too. Even like down to every single detail. Where like the liberal girl is standing like she wants to fight. She's like, I'm not a baby. Let's do this. And you could tell like if the dude just like flicked her in the forehead, she would cry. But anyway, let's look at some really, really scary transgender terrorists. Okay. I mean, actually, they are kind of scary because they're committing murders and such. But listen, like I've been saying from the beginning, if they want to. You want to make something happen. You guys want to say like, let's meet at the, I don't know, pick a football stadium, right? There's no weapons, no guns, no knives, and you just put everybody in there, and it's like, let's see what happens. I'm down, dude. I am so fucking down. I'm so down for this idea. Okay, no killing allowed, no serious maiming, broken arms if that happens. Like that's tough shit, but like nothing that people can't come back from. Okay. Right? Those are the rules. No weapons, no maiming at the expense of like the future of someone's life. But let's just get it all the way out, dude. Because you want to know what the truth of this is you want to know what happens when you fight somebody. And then at the end, you're like, we'll respect each other. Like, look, you took your ass whipping really well. And look, like one of those guys, dude, you caught me from behind when I didn't see it coming. That's a pretty good strike, dude. Good job. You're not quite as big of pussies as I gave you credit for. You guys showed up, showed up.
Some people say
I'm sorry. This is the leader of the transgender militia group that's under FBI investigation for possible connections to Charlie's assassination. And we're going to take a look at that. And then we'll take a look at what's going on with Turning Point USA. All right, let's do this thing.
It takes a violent protest to get people to listen. Do you agree, or should they remain peaceful?
I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm a member of the LGBTQ community, and our liberation and our rights came after the Stonewall riots. That's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, is that, the LGBTQ movement started with Stonewall riots. I wouldn't even be able to be a student at this school if it wasn't for a violent riot that took place within a span of 3 days. So I absolutely agree that sometimes violent protests and really riots and those kinds of loud rebellions must take place for tangible change.
Yeah. Okay. And so, you go back to what Destiny said. It's like, the conservatives need to be scared. That's why they shouldn't have elected Donald Trump, because of all of the riots that happened last time, as if that's our fault. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so we elected a president, and then you guys in make-believe land, okay, whatever you think is going on in America, you guys decided to go destroy the cities. Now, I was looking up some of these like Trantifa GoFundMes, right? And I want to read you the story behind this one, because this is so telling of how, like, of their like mindset, okay? Like, Gabby and I were reading this on our show. Again, Play with Matches. Link is in the description. You should go check that out. But listen to this story for why they're raising funding, and then just imagine that these are the types of people who are making decisions about why they should riot, okay? Quote, "Comrades, 30 has been a year. I have had," I'm sorry, that's definitely not a trans voice. So 30's been a year. I have had to move thousands of miles to start over 3 times in under a year. I'm a trans woman, and I have moved for my personal safety and stability in the face of transphobia and a fascist regime. Through policies made against trans people, it was made abundantly clear that we are low-hanging fruit. Trust me, this is all going to make sense in a second why I'm reading you this, okay? The only choice forward was to leave the life I fought tooth and nail for and find refuge in another country, somewhere I've never been or know anyone who has. I am almost out of money, and so it will take me a moment to get my finances together. Okay, so ready? Why did this person leave the country? Ready? I bought a house in June in Detroit. I absolutely love my home in my city. I spent 6 months settling in and renovating my home. I finished phase 1 of my renovation late Sunday, the night before Trump took office. On day 1, he has started anti-trans executive orders and went so far as to deny trans lives exist. Okay. I knew I had to get out immediately for my safety. I researched countries that I could safely seek refuge immediately and bought my 10 a.m. Wednesday flight, midnight Tuesday. I had been fighting a serious respiratory infection at this point for over a month and had a doctor's appointment I would miss. I decided to book my flight so I could live to die another day. Off to Uruguay I went, leaving my home, my community, and everything. So these people are putting this out there. Like, they're asking to raise money because they needed to flee the country because Donald Trump took office. Okay. That's the level of psychotic that we're dealing with here. Okay. That's why they think that they need these terror groups and they think they're whatever. It's because they're batshit. They live in a different dimension from reality. Okay. Oh, he signed an executive order that trans people don't exist. Shut up, weirdo. Okay. Like, give me a break. So dumb. Like, it's so dumb. Okay. Like, you think you need violence because you live in a world that doesn't exist. Okay. Now let's listen to Kash Patel talk about the 764 group.
Adversaries are something the FBI must never sleep on, and we are not sleeping. In the counterintelligence space alone, this year to date, 30% increase in counterintelligence arrests from the DPRK, Russia, Iran, and China. And I want the American people to know, in this setting, there's a lot of work that the brave men and women in the FBI are doing we just can't get into, but they don't stop. Our cyber threats, ransomware attacks, those harming our children online. We have nearly a 20% increase in indictments and arrests in 7 months alone this year. We're going after those that harm our malware, infrastructure systems, telecom systems, and energy structure. Combating SALT and Vault typhoons are just a little bit of the examples we're doing. Maybe most importantly, under the counterterrorism and domestic terrorism umbrella, are nihilist, violent extremists, and those that label themselves 764, who wish to go online and convince children to maim and mutilate themselves and commit suicide. And we are producing record numbers of arrests under that umbrella organization. We even stopped an individual in the 764 network who wanted to conspire to kill an adolescent girl. He is now in custody. Transparency remains one of my main priorities at the FBI. And this is what I've done in my 7 months at the helm. We've produced...
There you go. So they're real gems, guys. Like, these are really, really, really good people. Let's look at some more of their handiwork here. So we'll get to the Turning Point USA thing in a second, but check this out. So this person, this is how we ended up on the GoFundMe, is Arkansas leftist Carrie Rollo, who vandalized a Charlie Kirk memorial, has not just been fired, but has also been evicted. Okay. Now she's on GoFundMe, begging for spare change. That's how we ended up there. Look at her.
He lives as he dies, promoting violence. Record all you want.
Well, are you? No, look at this shit. Check it out. Look at this shit.
Fuck overreactive bullshit. Yeah, 9.1. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk.
There is you're talking a level of delusion and mental illness that is it's unbelievable. I love this. I love that I love it. I love that they're getting fired. And here, this is the thing. I actually have a real point to make here, which is this. Okay. So what this has done, if you want to talk turning point, right? What are we actually trying to win here? Right? As a country or as a movement, whatever we are, whatever the common sense side is, all the people who watch me, unless you're hate watching me or whatever, but if you actually align with me, what are we trying to win? We're trying to win control of the country, and we're trying to win control of the culture, more importantly, right? And here's the deal. Okay. I have a lot of Democrats in my life, a lot of Democrats I'm from California. Okay. None of them are weirdo extremists like this. They have as much in common with this person as I do with that person. They have nothing in common with these people at all. They're just historically Democrat voters, and they get their information from different places, and they don't really understand how toxic a culture it is over there. And here's the thing. Okay. When Charlie Kirk got killed, and now these people are behaving this way, regular Democrats are starting to see this. Okay. I tried to show this to people for years. This started for me. I was a Democrat. And around 2017 is when I started to see this woke movement. I was like, what is this, dude? What is this? And then between that and I started watching some other, some right-wing commentators that I started listening to. I mean, I wasn't super political before that anyway, but I started listening, and that was how I started the journey over to where I am now. I was whatever they are, I'm the opposite of that. Okay. I'm the exact opposite of whatever they are. But it's hard to get people who don't pay attention to look at it like that. And now it is a tidal wave of people moving from that side to ours exclusively because they are watching how they're behaving. And they're like, oh my God, this is what the left is. This is what my friends have been telling me. This is what my conservative friends have been telling me. This is what, when they said they voted for MAGA and they were saying, I can't be associated. Oh, this is what they were talking about. People are waking up as a result of this. That's why political violence would be bad here. Okay. I know I'm joking around about fighting these people and all that. I'm just joking, but especially about lethal violence. Okay. The second that we started killing in the other direction, okay, you would have a lot of outcomes, right? They are behaving the way that they're behaving because there's been no pushback. Okay. That if you don't remember when you had a substitute teacher in high school and you just got away with whatever you wanted. You just kept on pushing. Because the substitute teacher didn't feel confident exacting real discipline because it's not their class, right? The Republicans are on the side of in that poll that we looked at earlier, only 4% of Republicans think that political violence is okay. 24% of young Democrats or young liberals think that political violence is okay. Okay. And they think that because they are not receiving violence. They are only the violent aggressors. Okay. They're only the violent aggressors. They have no experience with real violence. They've never been hurt. They've never seen someone seriously hurt. They've never seen someone in person get killed. They've never seen someone in person get their head smashed into the pavement. That is not something they have experience with. Okay. And so they're just saying things, right? And so they're like, oh, we got to kill their people, whatever. Okay. As soon as a couple of those leaders, big public people, big public figures, a couple of them get murdered, okay, you are going to see an unbelievable de-escalation on their side. See, it's exactly the opposite, okay? It's an exact opposite of what it is over here. See, because over here, what you have is people who are very experienced, and I mean, not all conservatives, but a lot of people who train martial arts, who shoot guns regularly. The vast majority of them are conservatives, but we understand it's you're prepared, but you don't want to use this stuff, right? So with us, you start killing people, it's very likely to escalate. Okay, with them, you attack them, it's very likely to de-escalate because they're not used to anyone coming at them. So they are just used to being the offense. And most of them are pussies, okay? They're pussies in real life. Okay? In real life, you take one of these people, one of these radicals, you're all, okay, get in the cage with one person. What? I mean, just here. This guy right here, that's a MAGA guy. He's your size. He wants to fight you in that cage. Just you and him. You ready for it? You know what I mean? It's like they're not used to having the pushback. So a couple of them get clipped. That's what's going to happen. I'm not in any way saying that should happen. I do not think that should happen at all. It shouldn't be necessary. Because as soon as that starts happening, the real goal, which is to win the culture war, now we're just as bad as them. We're just as bad as them. You know? It's like, so it's a catch-22, right? Like we're getting people over here, but they may very likely continue to attack us violently until something else happens. But at the same time, as soon as something else happens, now we're just as bad as them. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So, all right. So let's take a look here at the scene unfolding at Turning Point USA, where there's a bomb tech and apparently there's a bomb robot that is going through a bag. You can see the guy right here who's in like the bomb, like that whole like bomb suit or whatnot. So
that is a bomb tech on scene right now. There was a bomb robot that was doing an initial inspection of the bag. I'm going to scoot over here. Suspicious bag left outside the Turning Point USA campus. Right there. Just down the sidewalk. It looks like he is now taking a look. Not sure what he found, but that's it.
All right, so let's see what else we got here, because I pulled up so bomb robot on scene at Charlie Kirk. Let me see. Sorry. And bomb robot on scene at Charlie Kirk organization due to suspicious bag. So a bomb robot was called to the scene outside of Turning Point USA headquarters on Wednesday morning in Phoenix, Arizona. TPUSA was co-founded by conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He was fatally shot, yada, yada. This morning, the Phoenix PD was notified of a suspicious bag in the area of 49th and Beverly. In the abundance of caution and for safety in those areas, we cleared. This location has been cleared. The PBD bomb squad has responded. There is not a threat attached to this incident. Okay, cool. That's good. I don't love that they're putting the TPUSA address out there like that, but, you know, what are you going to do? Okay, and then so let's also take a look at this the story with the where is this? Yeah, the FBI, terror attack. So, suspect in custody after terrorist incident at FBI office in Pittsburgh. So this guy apparently crashed into the gate, then grabbed an American flag from the vehicle and threw it over the fence before fleeing. And look at that. Look at the gate, dude. He tried to smash through the gate. Like, who knows what he was trying to do. They're calling it an act of terror. He crashed into the gate, grabbed an American flag from the vehicle, and threw it over the fence, and then fled. We're hoping by putting his photograph and name out there that we will start getting some tips from the public. We look at this as an act of terror against the FBI. This was a targeted attack on the building. Thankfully, no one was hurt. This incident is considered a targeted attack on the FBI. And then there's some bag removed from the trunk of the vehicle. And this was examined by the bomb squad. Man, so you got two stories where you got the bomb squad coming out at the FBI and at Turning Point USA in the same day. Okay. And then you also have this. Okay. Take a look at this story. Armed queers of SLC. Group under spotlight after Charlie Kirk killing. The killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk has placed armed queers of Salt Lake City under intense scrutiny, with the group's name surfacing in federal investigations. Kirk, the 31-year-old co-founder of Turning Point USA, was shot dead during an event in Utah last week. His alleged assassin, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, was arrested hours later. The FBI is now probing whether Robinson acted alone or as part of a wider network. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino told that investigators are looking into multiple warning signs and whether others might have added or encouraged Robinson. We'll also be dropping a lot of subpoenas out there, testing possible links to online groups and possible circles. Okay, so here you go. Armed queers of SLC is now under FBI investigation. Look at these fucking people, dude. Like, what is this, dude? Armed Queers of SLC, which deleted its Instagram account days after the assassination, was founded in 2021 by activist, whatever that name is. The group grew out of a split with the Pink Pistols, a national LGBTQ or LGBT firearms group, after disagreements over political messaging. Fenian, previously active with March for Our Lives, repositioned Armed Queers as a militant socialist collective, describing it as committed to defending queer communities from right-wing vigilantes and state violence. Oh yeah, all those right-wing vigilantes. In 2024, the group described itself as a socialist queer organization that sought to combine community defense with political education, campaigning on issues ranging from Palestine to corporate sponsorships of pride, yada, 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 fucking whatever. Shut up, you fucking weirdos. Okay. Anyway, that's what we got for today. Love you guys. Bye-bye.